AskReddit asks, if HBO's Chernobyl was a series with a new disaster every season, what event would you like to see covered?
Challenger.
Sesame Street is on HBO now. So they could totally go into how Big Bird was nearly on the Challenger flight. https
www.history.com/news/big-bird-challenger-disaster-sesame-street. There was actually a solid movie made back in 2013 by the BBC. The Challenger disaster. It had Gary Oldman in it. And it was infuriating. Edit. Yes, I know I had the actor wrong. It's been corrected after about 300 people pointed it out.
Halifax explosion. Despite living here, I didn't even think of that one as an option. For shame. Great suggestion.
Bhopal. It injured a lot of people, and the series of mistakes that caused it to occur is insane. Edit. This was a chemical leak that killed 500 people in the immediate aftermath and thousands more long-term. 125 injuries were recorded due to it.
Craig Mazin's Twitter was inundated for a while with Indians asking him to do a series on Bhopal.
For those interested in Bhopal, the Yes Men pulled a pretty amazing prank to call attention to the issue by going on the news imitating Dow Chemical and promising that they would finally pay for the disaster. Their stock dropped quite a bit, and Dow Chemical had to go on the news and explain, "Oh no, we are not paying for the Bhopal disaster."
Bhopal makes sense. Huge number of casualties. Disaster caused by denial and ineptitude, and audiences haven't already seen the subject get much coverage.
The Kyshtym disaster. https://n wikipedia.org/wiki/Kyshtym_disaster. Only Chernobyl and Fukushima have ranked as worse incidents. But Kyshtym affected 4x as many people. Because of the secrecy surrounding the facility, nobody was told anything about it until a week later, when soldiers suddenly showed up and started slaughtering all the livestock and burning everything. Not telling all the people why they were being rounded up and evacuated. They said it was a special disease. Some other people weren't evacuated for a year or more.
Another disaster that I learned through this post. Had no idea about it previously.
Triangle Shirtwaist Fire in 1911.
I feel like this is being lost in time. Yet it has more historical importance than other disasters listed here. TSF is the basis of modern workplace safety, union organizing and more. Wikipedia.org/wiki/triangle_shirtwaist_factory_fire.
Centralia. Pennsylvaniaites a ghost town because the coal that runs under the city is on fire. It has been for many years. Edit. Thank you for the precious metals. Also, if you are intrigued by Centralia, look up the Times Beach. Mo. https www.sulmag.com/remember-times-beach-the-disaster-years-later/closing parenthesis disaster that also required the town to be evacuated.
Holy crap. HBO, get on this. The Rogers Commission, with Feynman in the Legasov role.
Write that down. Write that down. Exclamation mark. Quote exclamation mark. Dot.
The whole sequence where the truth about what happened got laundered from insiders at NASA to Sally Ride to Jen Kutner to Richard Feynman would make for some pretty good TV.
Tiananmen Square Massacre. Why would you want a TV series about absolutely nothing? S.
Removed.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
In 1998, when The Undertaker threw mankind off hell in a cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table.
BAH, God, somebody call a paramedic.
Paging, you shitty morph.
What's awesome is how it could balloon out into a documentary on how pro wrestlers are treated like unprofessional garbage.
Bhopal makes sense. Huge number of casualties. Disaster caused by denial and ineptitude, and audiences haven't already seen the subject get much coverage.
I'ma be honest, I didn't even know of this disaster until I looked it up seeing this thread. Perfect candidate.
Agree. I would like to learn more about it.
Here's some more info. The plant, located in India, made pesticides out of methyl isocyanate, mic, and alpha-naphthol. It had a number of storage tanks of this and other chemicals, but we'll focus on the mic. Mic causes chemical burns, blindness and loss of lung function, just to name a few. The recommended capacity of the tanks was 60% due to it being a gas. At the time of the leak, the tanks were at 70%. The tanks had a number of safety features that at the time were either broken or not being used. The main issue being refrigerators meant to keep the gas cool. Anyone who knows ideal gas law knows the gases expand when they get hotter. Many of the workers were untrained in what to look for. But the real issue is that the refrigerators were not turned on, not because they didn't work, but to save money. It's estimated that 2,000 people died, with over 200,000 affected by the groundwater and soil contamination that still exists today. Edit. I'm not an expert on this. So here's some stuff I got wrong. I knew it reached badly with water but forgot why. Here's what the mindless own added. There's much more to it than that. Mic is a liquid at room temp. It reacts violently with water, which is extremely exothermic. They were cleaning pipes and did it so wrong that they ended up dumping a bunch of water into the mic tank. This immediate exothermic reaction is what caused it to heat up so much where it boiled into a gas, and was released through the pressure safety valve designed to prevent a pressure explosion. Also, those death stats are likely lower than the real ones.
The Costa Concordia, https n wikipedia.org/wiki/Costa_Concordia closing parenthesis. The mixture of incredibly brave and competent people versus the idiot captain and the spectacular nature the disaster itself would make for some damn incredible television. I'd love to see lots of different perspectives on it.
Have you heard the radio between the captain and I believe it was the Coast Guard? The captain's a real dingus. BP oil spill. We're sorry.
There was that movie a couple of years back. I agree only because we need widespread disapproval of the oil industry to balance out the hatred for nuclear power.
I literally just touched a building 7 hours ago that had debris embedded in it from that explosion. The destruction is hard to comprehend.
An area of over 160 hectares, 400 acres, was completely destroyed by the explosion. 60, and the harbor floor was momentarily exposed by the volume of water that was displaced. That part alone is unthinkable to me. That much water was displaced. I wonder if that's just hearsay. It sounds so incredible.
Largest man-made explosion before the invention of nuclear bombs.
An area of over 160 hectares, 400 acres, was completely destroyed by the explosion. 60, and the harbor floor was momentarily exposed by the volume of water that was displaced. That part alone is unthinkable to me. That much water was displaced. I wonder if that's just hearsay. It sounds so incredible.
Obviously it's a completely different ballgame. But there's simulations out there of the Krakatoa eruption which shows the seabed being uncovered by the force of the eruption. This video, https YouTube, by2ixubf7ip4, shows the seabed being exposed in a 10 km radius of the volcano.
I feel like this is being lost in time. Yet it has more historical importance than other disasters listed here. TSF is the basis of modern workplace safety, union organizing and more. N. Wikipedia.org/wiki/triangle_shirtwaist_factory_fire.
I recall having more than one lesson on this during various history classes through middle and high school. It was taught in units around the Industrial Revolution, Luddites, unionizing, etc.
On that note, I recommend watching the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary on the Hillsborough Stadium disaster. https n wikipedia.org/wiki/Hillsborough_disaster closing parenthesis edit : I see a lot of Liverpool fans commenting on this. Those of you who read soccer might recognize me as a Napolista. But I have nothing but sympathy for Merseyside regarding one of the darkest days in football history. Non sarai mai sola, you'll never walk alone.
Game of Thrones Season 8.
Who would play our prefect though?
Plot holes. What plot holes? Take him to the infirmary.
Bold of you to assume our free folk wouldn't just play themselves.
I would like the 1917 Canadian blast. https n wikipedia.org/wiki/halifax_explosion https n wikipedia.org/wiki/halifax_explosion closing parenthesis. The largest man-made explosion until nuclear bombs in 1945. Not so much for the blast but for the rebuilding and dealing with it.
I'ma be honest, I didn't even know of this disaster until I looked it up seeing this thread. Perfect candidate. Agree. I would like to learn more about it.
Bhopal, a prayer for rain, https. U2, B, LTC6 USOBY 2014, Martin Sheen. Cal Penn, Misha Barton edit. Fixed link to English version instead of Hindi.
The Great Fire of London edit. Thanks for Silver Nice Stranger.
What about the Great Beer Flood of London?
The Great Molasses Flood of Boston.
The Great Molasses Flood of Boston. The Boston Malassacre.
Write that down. Write that down. Exclamation mark. Quote exclamation mark. Dot. Guys, we don't need writers anymore. Let's just post crap on the internet and wait. Dot.
You say that like they're not already doing it.
That's pretty much how The Martian was written. And it worked out.
FR.
Obviously it's a completely different ballgame. But there's simulations out there of the Krakatoa eruption which shows the seabed being uncovered by the force of the eruption. This video, https U2, BY2IXUVF7IP4, shows the seabed being exposed in a 10 km radius of the volcano.
Krakatoa was just incomprehensibly large. People heard it all over the world.
I want this as a movie but told from the perspective of fish. Finding Nemo style.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day you wonderful people.